Oh, what's good, my peoples? It's your main man, Solace. I just woke up out my sleep. I needed to do this video for y'all. This happens sometimes. Sometimes I get certain answers while I'm asleep. You know, I'm always pulling for knowledge. It's almost like at this point it just happens on its own. But I wanted to explain why certain people are handicapped or born with a handicap. I don't know the correct wording, but like a mental retardation, a deformity. Why does this happen? So I want to explain that because I just received the answer to that. So I want to explain it. I didn't get a chance to look it up because usually when I get my understanding of things, I know that y'all are used to books and things of that nature, so I try to look up whatever I could look up for y'all. That way, when I'm explaining what I see or how I receive it, then when I explain it to y'all, y'all can understand. I can use words and things that y'all grasp because I truly just see it. I get it like it's like it's in my mind. I see it. I'm there. Same way you see where you at. I see whatever it is that the question is. So how does one why is one born deformed or retarded in a sense? Now we have to understand when I say the spirit is the sperm, this holds the answers to most questions. So now you have to understand life starts as a cell if you're referring to a man, uh, plant, animal, whatever kind of life you see on this third dimension, you have to understand it started. Well, let's just stick with men because we're men. So men meaning mankind, humans. Men's life start as a cell. This is the first body that a man's spirit, which is what a man truly is, the thought, the knowledge. This is what you truly is. Everything you think of that's going on in your head, that is you. The physical body is just the body. Now, the first body you had was a cell in your father. That was your first body. Inside that cell body, there was a sperm cell, which I call the spirit. That's in the head or the brain in the spinal cord. So the brain is not the sperm cell or the spirit. The sperm cell is in the brain and spinal cord, and that's why it's shaped that way. Now, the micro life, the cell, it has that also within it. This would be the electric charge. You can say the sperm cell is an electric charge, organic, true conscious energy. This is why you can see it, as opposed to the imitation energy you can't see in a cell phone or something. So the first body that the cell had was as a cell. Then it was a sperm cell, and the sperm cell went into the egg, and the egg became the body that a person has now. So now, how does the person become deformed? Because sperm cells, see, you have to understand from the beginning, some sperm cells are deformed, are handicapped in a sense. So these sperm cells will ascend through life with those same handicaps, meaning when they get the body, which is the egg, they're the conscious thought, the true life that is within the egg. So the egg develops with that same deformity, or whatever the case may be. And I'm sure if you look up sperm cells, you'll see like there's different sperm cells, and I'm sure one of them shits would be deformed or something like that. And it'll break it down to you with something like that. But we have to understand on the level that scientists are looking at this thing from a object perspective. They're not looking at it from true life. So you have to understand the damage that a sperm cell goes through when it gets the egg. It goes through extreme damage. So when it's developing from that point on, it's truly a matter of hoping that it can heal itself within that body and continue its ascent back up to the mighty all, ascending back so that it can return with complete knowledge of everything. So this is the point of ascending through the lives. So when it goes through all that damage getting into the egg cell, it's pretty much a 50-50 chance that it could be deformed or not completely healed every way it's supposed to. Because it loses its tail, it splits its head, it goes through extreme damage getting inside the egg. This is you, in the very beginning, went through extreme damage getting inside the egg. So whatever deformities you may have acquired during that process that weren't healable, that didn't heal, would have ascended with you into this life. And you have sperm cells that are not completely perfect like they're supposed to be. So we more or less need to look at it from a perspective of this. When you see a handicapped person or a deformed person or a mentally retarded person, because we look at it as, damn, it's fucked up way to be alive. But you should truly look at it in this perspective. That deformed sperm cell from the very beginning has still acquired whatever it is to keep ascending, meaning that sperm cell was deformed, but it's still ascending. You have sperm cells that were not deformed, that didn't ascend. They just returned back to the mighty all. See, we have to understand when the sperm cell's going through its ascents in life so that it can eventually return back to the mighty all with all-knowing knowledge, that is the purpose. You have, put it like this. You have spirits of men who have never been past the third dimension, this third life. They went from a cell to sperm cell to this and die and return back to the all and repeat this shit all over again because it's all a process. The all is continuously pushing itself back out and things are ascending back. Other things are ascending halfway and then returning back. And then once you return, it's an eternal long journey. But some men only get to this point and then they return back to the all and become spit back out. So we have to understand this thing. Everyone's not going to ascend all the way up to a star and beyond before they return back to the all. Only those who acquire in knowledge will continue to ascend. So you have to look at it from that perspective. That deformed sperm cell ascended. There's a bunch of sperm cells that didn't ascend, that didn't get the egg. So you have to understand that. When you see a deformed person, you have to look at the beauty of it and say, damn, that is a survivor. Because it's still alive and it's still going while there's others that had no defects that are not. So it's truly a deep thing. We have to just get a level of understanding of things from the beginnings. And then you can get a level of understandings from every level of the ascent back to the all. But the main thing we need to understand is that everyone, because we have this thing that everyone's going to die and then go to heaven or whatever, everyone's not going to ascend. Just like everyone doesn't make it to be an old person. Some people die young. It's all about how smart and how evil your surroundings have become. This is why we must find peace and consume ourselves in that. Because anything can stop your ascent. If you don't have enough knowledge to ascend, to get to the egg, to ascend into the next life, then how do you expect to ascend? Because it's just like the beginning. A bunch of sperm cells do not make it to penetrate the egg, only one. So all those other sperm cells break back down to their natural properties and they return back to the all. So we have to understand that. Many men walking this earth will die and their spirit will return back to the all. So when you see stars, planets, these are spirits ascending. When you see the blackness, the darkness, the nothingness, that is the mighty all. That is where all came from. This is where all resides, within that. And many men will die as men in their spirit will return back to that nothingness, to be recycled over to start again as a cell eventually. However, their veil in that mighty all lasts. And everyone will be in that darkness that is the mighty all. But a guy like me, I will return back to the mighty all with the knowledge that the mighty all has, because I will keep ascending past a sun, because I have understanding on this. So we have to just understand, man. The knowledge you had as a cell in your father's body is on a minute level to the knowledge that you should have now if you were connecting the lives. So we just have to get to a level of understanding, man. It's your boy Solace. From now on, I'm going to just stay in my lane, because I have my own lane, truly. I explain things others just have no clue about, and I explain it to where others can understand. If anyone wants to look up anything I said, you can Google or Wikipedia if sperm cells are deformed or whatever you need to find them knowledge. Understanding things I'm bringing to you is coming from the universe, the true way of grasping knowledge and understanding. So it may not be written in a book, or it may not be written in a book the way I'm saying it. So in a book, you're not going to read that the earth is an organ and the planets are organs and egg cell types of things. You're not going to read that. You're going to read that they're planets, but you have to be smart enough to put two and two together. So it's your boy Solace. I hope anyone with any handicap or disabled family members can now get a better understanding. And when you look at them, just understand, man, they're ascending. Why are you not handicapped and ascending? And it's because even handicapped people have eyes, so they can receive knowledge and understanding that a man who sees but doesn't see can acquire. It's your main man Solace.